like top 10 in the WBO rankings. I think he's like top 5, I believe. So he can get a big fight coming up. They're trying to bring him back on the Cambosis card. Same thing with Terramona, the Olympian. You know what I'm saying? He like 6'5", 270. He had an easy first round knockout too. They trying to run him back too. So they got some good heavyweights from down under. They're trying to keep pushing. And you guys seen that crowd down there. I mean, that shit looked pretty good. You know what I'm saying? It looked like it was a lot of people there. I didn't get the attendance, nothing like that, but I like the event. I like how they had everything staged and everything like that. So those two guys, Huni and Terramona, gonna come back real quick. You know what I'm saying? So they had good victories. And now speaking on Jay Abataya, David Nakia came to fight though. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people probably didn't know who David Nakia was, but he's an Olympian. You know, you can tell he came to fight. He only had 10 fights, but I mean, he hurt the number one guy in the division. He hurt Jay Abataya like late in the second round, but he got into a firefight, and once he got into a firefight, he couldn't get out of it. Jay Abataya, the one that made the adjustments, he started to box and use his his lateral movement just a little bit to set up some shots, and he had a highlight reel, kind of like a knockout of the year. But we just started, but that's gonna be on the highlight reel when we start talking about knockout of the year when we get to the end of 2025. And that was crazy. He dropped him with an inside right uppercut, you know what I'm saying, the fifth round, and then he closed the deal. So we know Jay Abataya is the number one fighter at cruiserweight. IBF, Ring Magazine, you know what I'm saying? He like that. He be bringing that shit too. And since he became world champion, he been fighting decent opponents, not really the top of the class. A lot of guys been kind of doing different stuff. But right now, I think he gonna end up getting his opportunity to unify and definitely have bigger fights. The best thing about this fight right here, other than the fight and the knockout and all that, this fight was the IBF mandatory. The original opponent, Hussein Sankara, he was the mandatory. He had to pull out with an injury, so they brought in David Nakia, right? And he's like number 10 in the IBF. The IBF blessed off for this fight to be a mandatory. So now Abataya is free from that, right? And he can go ahead and unify the division. So that's what's up. You know what I'm saying? So appreciate you guys sticking there with me, man. He said some great fights getting made now for sure. TJ in the building. Salute. Yeah, he did. Robert Brown, what's good with you, bro? I got something for you too. Later in the show, I got something for you. Salute to you. You know what I'm saying? Salute. Andrew Gray, what's good with you, bro? Appreciate you guys coming through. Michael James 616 in the building. Bruce Gas in the building. Salute to you guys. You know what I'm saying? So we back, had a little technical difficulty, but we good though. He said, I want to see Jay Abataya. Tom Brown in the building. Salute. I want to see Jay Abataya versus Badu Jack. Zerlo. Yep. I'm about to segue to that right now. Undisputed should be easy, man. We're gonna see. We're gonna be. It should be. I don't know if it'll be easy. Like if you're speaking like easy for him to get, like as far as making the fight, yeah. But I don't know if there's gonna be easy as far as like in the ring. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We good. So yeah, nice segue. You guys is on it. Zerto Ramirez. That's the fight we want to see. Turkey Al-She want to do this fight May the 3rd. So we're going to talk about some of the hurdles, right? We know Jay Abataya don't have a mandatory, but Zerto does. Zerto has a WBA mandatory and former world champion Yanel Dorticos. Dorticos took step aside to allow Zerto versus Chris Smith, all right, to unify in November. So they on the hook for that. Now there's talks about them actually doing that fight like in March, or maybe Dorticos will take step aside again to allow this big fight. 3-belt unification, WBA, WBO, IBF, Ring Magazine. It'll be for the number one fighter in the division. You know what I'm saying? That's the big fight. So maybe Dorticos step aside again. Maybe the WBA can give him an interim title fight, kind of like what happened with MJ at 122, and then he can maybe get the next. You know what I'm saying? So give these guys an opportunity to make big fights before then. So that's the number one and best option for boxing fans. Badu Jack, he came out of recess, got his WBC title back. He's a cruiserweight champion. He has a mandatory. Those guys is on the hook. Badu Jack versus Ryan Rosiski. They on the hook. They have a deadline, February the 4th, to make a deal or it's going to go to purse bid. Now, this is another fight for Jay Abataya if Badu Jack doesn't have a mandatory. Badu Jack he ain't fought at cruiserweight in a long time, so get him back in the mix. So if he fight his mandatory, Ryan Rosiski, he win that, and then that will open up the door for him to fight the winner between Zerto and Obataya in a perfect world. You know what I'm saying? Without mandatories and all that shit. So it's heating up. Definitely heating up because we haven't had unification before this was Usyk. And Usyk been at heavyweight for a minute. So yeah, this is good. We can get all these guys to fight, and I think they'll be easy fights to make. As far as in the ring, I'm not sure if they like easy fights, like walkovers. I would favor Jay Abataya. I think he's the number one guy in the division. And I think at the end of the day, he'll be the last man standing. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, let's get it. Let's get it. Easy for the weight class. I think it'd be easy fights to make because, you know, the influence of Turkey Al-Sheikh and all these guys is like affiliated. So, yeah. Yeah, I think we can for sure. A1 Who's On, what's good with you? Salute. Yes, sir. All right, keep it moving. So we got some fight announcements, man. We're gonna talk about. We got Pro Box. They just announced another card, so they getting busy. They had a great 2024. This one right here is February the 19th. So this year, Pro Box is gonna be everywhere, not just based in Plant City, Florida, like they normally do. So this one is gonna be like in Fresno, headlined by Gabe Flores Jr., Jose Arellano. That's a good fight right there, y'all. And we already know Pro Box always put on good fights. Pro Box has a card January the 24th, which is cool. They have another one February the 8th in San Antonio. Is another good card. So they getting busy. You know what I'm saying? Pro Box is like that. As a boxing fan, and we get consistent schedule. You know, it's not really a lot of big names, but it's a lot of names that we know. You know what I'm saying? And the most important thing, the fights be so good. Who cares about the big names? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, Pro Box is back at it. So, yeah, y'all tap in with this Wednesday, February the 19th. They just announced this one for sure. JC in the building. What's good with you, bro? Yeah, man. Nah, it's not close to me, man. Yeah, it's crazy what's going on. Yeah, Pro Box. Yeah. Nah, he been pretty active though. He been fighting on BOK Prime his last two fights. Last year, he been fighting on BOK Prime. There's nobody really touch on it. So yeah, that's a tough fight for him, bro, for sure. Yeah, Joshawn James. Yep, that's February the 8th. Yep. That's on the undercard of Cardenas. Cardenas got a good fight too. Yeah, it's a lot of good fights on Pro Box, man. They're gonna keep it rolling too. Here's a Queensberry card that they just announced, the full card. So this one is March the 1st in the UK. Ryan Gardner versus Jimenez. You got a lot of good fighters on the undercard. You got the return of Joe Joyce, who is basically on his last leg. Barney Smith, I like him. You got Sharp versus Dillon is a solid fight. Edmondson, the light heavyweight. He got a couple of world rankings. He beat Dan Aziz, which I thought Dan Aziz actually won that fight. You got the hot prospect Yadier Herrera from Cuba. You know, it's a lot of guys. Luke McCormick, Atama's brother, the older one, that fights at light heavyweight. So this is another good stacked card of names with young fighters that Queensberry got. For you guys can tap into. So right now, so we know in April, Queensberry is going to go to the zone full time. So hopefully they can put this card on. They know they've been rocking with ESPN Plus. Maybe they can throw this on the zone as well, just to, you know, whatever. But I know full time Queensberry will be rocking with the zone. So that's always good for sure. I don't know where he's from. I forgot. You gotta tap in with him. I seen him fight a couple of times. Yo, he good. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he nice. Yeah, he's good. He's fighting a Pro Box, tough kid. Yeah. No. Yeah. Yeah. That's crazy because I know Brandon Lee was supposed to have been on. For that card they had in December. Yeah, that's crazy because they having a couple of cars that he should hop on. The December car that they had, the Magnificent Seven. He's not even on Shazora's car in February. This one, they also have a car with Nick Ball March the 15th. So yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I think that he's gonna fight him on that Barbosa card. Barbosa versus Calderon. I seen that. That's what's up. Yeah, Brandon Lee look ass last time out. Yeah, he's with Robert Garcia though. I really never understood the signing with him signing with Queensberry, but we'll see. All right, yo, this one that they talking about is a negotiation. Shout out to Knockout Boxing, ESPN Knockout, and Shava, right from uh, from ESPN Knockout. So this is a fight right here. Would be crazy at 108 pounds. We got two new champions as well. Eric Rosa, the WBA champion from the Dominican Republic. He just won his title in December. And then you got Masasumi Yabuki, my man Yabuki, right? Yabuki, he can punch, yo. This is a dangerous fight. He just beat the champion, Nasinga. He stopped him like in 9 rounds. And he's a two-time world champion. He also stopped Kenshiro a couple years ago. Kenshiro came back and stopped him. But this is a dangerous fight for the young Eric Rosa from Dominican, who his defense ain't like that. I watched that fight when he won the world title. Yo, he was getting touched up. And you don't want to have those defensive flaws against Yabuki. Now, these guys is in negotiations to unify, which is great. I salute both of these guys. So we'll have to see when they actually have this fight. But yeah, I seen this. Yeah, I was like, yeah, I like this. 108 pounds, get that division back unified. That's what's up. You know what I'm saying? Brand, he called him a bum. Yeah, the Nick Ball fight. Nick Ball fighting TJ Doheny, who just lost to anyway. That's March the 15th. Rosa's a kid. Yeah, I think so too, bro. I think so too. But we're gonna see. We'll see if he fixes that defensive flaws. Alright, this one right here, Ammo Williams versus Yuri Cedeno. These guys is in negotiations to fight March the 15th. It's a headliner for Matchroom on the Zone. This is a good fight, yo. Cedeno is undefeated, Dominican fighter, middleweight. He's good. He's with Marshall Kaufman Promotions, Kings Promotions. He can fight, yo. He been like on the prospects, level. But this is a step up for him. Ammo, he had a decent return, had a nice little knockout victory coming off the loss to Hamza Shiraz. He fought on Boots undercard in November. This can be an explosive fight. This can be an explosive fight. I feel like Ammo is a contender right now. So Daniel probably more so prospect, but he can cross over to a contender. This is a good fight though. So they working on this March the 15th, Orlando. So that's pretty solid right there. That's a good fight. Where is that showing? Which fight you talking about, yo? Yabuki fight? They haven't made it yet, but if they make it, it'll definitely be on ESPN Knockout. For sure. Unless one of the other big time people pick it up, but ESPN Knockout for sure. He a prospect. Yeah, man. So he was the one that got benefited from the Cameron Duncan School of Matchmaking. You know what I'm saying? We know how he matchmake his guys, Boots, Crawford. But Boots and Crawford are like more special talents than him. Same way with Brian Norman. And he did plateau out because he was knocking shit out. And now, I don't know. Ammo and tough. Nah, for real. That's a tough fight, yo. So Daniel can win this fight, yo. And it's probably be for like a WBA regional title or maybe even an eliminator. Alright, so I seen this too recently. Jaime Munguia versus Bruno Socceris. They supposed to run that shit back looking like April the 12th. So Munguia exercised his rematch clause after getting knocked out in the 6th round in December. Knockout, well, that shit was crazy. The knockout kind of came out of nowhere because it's like a hum-ho fight. He really wasn't nothing going on like that typical Munguia fight. And then he got clipped. So he exercised his rematch clause. They're gonna run that shit back. looking like it's gonna be back in Tijuana. So we're gonna see if it can be repeat or revenge. But it was kind of unexpected because a lot of the Munguia opponents, you know what I'm saying, they don't really, it is what it is. But I feel like his defense always been trash. So that shit was gonna bound be it's bound gonna happen. It was gonna happen anyway. We seen Canelo dropped him and you start seeing little cheeks in his armor a little bit. I thought he looked good in his bounce back fight against Bayanza. But I know he was struggling to make this weight. They had to change the weight last minute to 170 instead of 68. So I don't know if he took. It looked like he didn't take the guy serious, and he got slept. So they're gonna run that back, man. We're gonna see. This is like do or die for Munguia, for sure. I mean, he can always get fights because he got a good team that would keep him active. But he'll have to. It'll be a long way back to the top for the big name guys. But then again, I don't know because you can lose a bunch of fights and still get world title fights. So maybe that's not true no more. So we're gonna see. Supreme Beast in the building. What's good with you, bro? Munguia, my guy. He said, oh. Yeah, we're gonna see, man. What's up with Munguia? Can he get that shit back? Why the guy legit opponent? I'm saying different shit. Yeah, I'm gonna touch on it. Yeah, I'm hearing Curtis Harper. But yeah, I'm gonna touch on that for sure. Yes, sir. Everybody they know that. Yeah, they've been saying that forever. Always had trash defense. Yeah, but his chin was solid though, right? Yeah. Yeah, I thought his chin was pretty solid, but actually it looked like he got some chinks in there. Solid team. Yeah, they gonna get him back. Alright, so they had the promotion for this fight right here. Carissa Shields versus Danielle Perkins. I seen them do like an open workout and then face to face and shit. Old girl grabbed the belts and shit. It's a nice little promotion. So this is for the undisputed heavyweight title. It's kind of confusing how they got this, but because Carissa won the heavyweight title before at 175, it's confusing. I'm just gonna say all the other belts, other sanctioned bodies, putting their heavyweight title on the line. I think this fight may be above 175. We're gonna see, but it's intriguing because Danielle Perkins is big and strong. You know what I'm saying? Big southpaw. Don't got like a lot of pro experience, but I know she was a top amateur. She beat Shadeja Green in the amateurs and all that shit, and that more so counts for the ladies, especially in this weight class, these higher weight class, because there's not a lot of ladies fighting there. But she been a mandatory for the WBC for a while. She was supposed to face Hannah Gabriels. That fight never came to fruition. So we're gonna see, man. Carissa Shields too fast for her, I think, for real. Too skilled, too fast. But it's just that danger. We don't know what's gonna happen if she get clipped with a big left hand from Danielle Perkins. We don't know. Nobody knows. But this one going down February the 2nd. You know what I'm saying? Flint, Michigan. It's gonna be on the zone as well. You know what I'm saying? So that's on a Sunday. So yeah, for sure. So it'll be here before you know it. Something interesting on the undercard though. Salida Promotions just signed Brandon Moore, the heavyweight. I guess he's a French contender now. I guess. He was signed to Top Rank last year. He had a couple of fights. Then he lost to Richard Torres. Torres stopped him, and then Top Rank cut him. And then he had like 2 little comeback fights, and now he's signed to Salida. He's gonna face he got an interesting fight. He's facing a tall 6'6" Skylar Lacey. That's a tough fight. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna hold you. I know Brandon Moore probably like 6. Both of them probably 6'6". Brandon Moore, he alright. You know what I'm saying? He okay boxer. Skylar Lacey is tricky. That's gonna be a tricky fight for his first fight signing with them. So he's gonna be on the undercard of Carissa Shields versus Danielle Perkins, February the 2nd. So that's what it is. Yeah. So his name was floated out there, but he's not the opponent. He's not the opponent, which it was Big Shot. Yeah, I think the reception for Stephen Shaw was way better than the reception for Curtis Harper. You know what I'm saying? It was way better. Yeah, he was mentioned, but it won't never really, solidified. That's how easy. Yeah, that's crazy. So, Carissa's in like a catch-22 when they talk about her being the best and the greatest of all time, the GOAT, all that shit. She got a lot of her undisputed winning a lot of vacant titles. All right, when you compare it to Kay Taylor, she don't really do that. But this is where the comparison kind of differentiates. When you got somebody that you believe they can give Carissa Shields a run for their money, she dominate. When you got somebody that you believe they're gonna give Kay Taylor a run for her money, then she struggles or she barely win the fight. You know what I'm saying? And to me, the separation of elite when you fight your elite opponent is way different from when Carissa fight her opponent and when Katie fight hers. You know what I'm saying? Because I know people were saying she was going to lose to Hammer, Marshall. You know what I'm saying? She dominated those fights. Kay Taylor struggled in some fights where it is fights that she probably should have lost. Like the two Amanda fights, the first Pursuit fight. You know what I'm saying? So Carissa, if she had those opponents, she'll probably dominate those opponents against the elite. You know what I'm saying? So that's how you look at it. But yeah, that undisputed shit is just throw-ins. Because really, also too, another thing to add to that, you can throw in these belts for her because who gonna beat her? Who else you think gonna beat her in the weight class? Any weight class she go to, who gonna beat her? You know what I'm saying? So might as well throw them shits in. I had Big Shot too. Man, I've been a tough fight. You know what I'm saying? He said he gasses. Yeah, I remember that fight he had on Top Rank. Who the fuck he fight on Top Rank? He put up a good effort. He said, I get it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, we got more. Speaking of Deontay, here we go. He's next in the queue. So, we all know Stephen Shaw was an opponent that was mentioned, but it never came. The deal didn't work out, whatever, and he didn't get the fight. Curtis Harper is the name for Deontay Wilder, supposed to come back April on BLK Prime, right? In Atlanta. So when you're looking at it, we thinking, to me, if this is the opponent, right, it's telling me that, okay, he really taking a step back to get his mind together and to get a win. Because really, Deontay had, one win in how many years? 3 years? Since the Helenius fight. Helenius fight seemed like a long time ago now. Going off what happened in the Zane fight and the Parker fight. So him fighting the Curtis Harper just to get back acclimated in the win column and feeling good about himself and getting his killer instinct back. I think that's the biggest thing for me. When I watched his last two fights, I feel like he was just hesitant to pull the trigger. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if that's residual from the Fury fight, which I believe so, because I feel like when both guys ended that trilogy, they both left that trilogy a different fighter, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Whether they want to admit it or not, they did, because they took a lot out of each other, right? So yeah, I mean, I ain't really mad at it if it's just a get back fight, just to get his shit together and okay, let me go ahead and get this dude up out of here. Curtis Harper is a journeyman level opponent. He's a guy that he just come in and he expected to lose. He may sport the apple card a time or two, like he beat Christian Thun. I think he beat him on Pro Box a couple of years ago. Sometimes he's tough. Sometimes he'll come to fight and be durable. Sometimes he get hit with one shot, he ready to go home. He noted for the FA shit, the FA fight or lack thereof, right? When he walked out the ring and he went home because he had a promotional dispute. So I get it from that standpoint. Now, Deontay is polarizing, so people want to kill him. You look at the comments, people go crazy. They want the Shaw fight. They was hating on the Shaw fight. Some people saying Shaw was a bum. He's this, he's that. Now they seen Curtis Harper. Now they doing it. So it don't really matter. At the end of the day, if he's using this as a springboard to get back in the bigger fights, I ain't mad at it. I think that's actually what he should do. Especially coming off he got to make sure he got it before, You know what I'm saying? He want to step back up and fight, the top guys in the division. So, hey, if they're going to put it on, I'm with it. And I think it's good for him to get back and he got to get that juices for him. You know what I'm saying? Get those juices back like the killer. Because the killer Deontay is dangerous with that right hand. Y'all already know what that is. So, yeah. So, just to add to that, now we know for sure that it's on a BLK Prime event, right? Because they just dropped this press release. Deontay is supposed to announce his fight in LA on Saturday, and due to all the the fires and the wildfires going on right now, they postponed it. So here you go. Here's the press release for you guys to see. You know what I'm saying? Right then and there. So if you had any doubts that he was gonna fight on BLK Prime coming up, here you go. Because they want to drop no press release if they didn't have that working. So there it is. So maybe they'll do an announcement another time. You know what I'm saying? And in that time, the way boxing is, it can be another opponent that come through to be the you know what I'm saying, the person. But we'll see. Him fighting a guy like Curtis Harper tells me he want to see where he got left and trying to see if he can get those juices back. You know what I'm saying? And then they got to get him a win. Because that shit is everything. It's much better when you're winning than when you're losing. You know what I'm saying? We all know that. So, let's see. That's what it is right there. Antonio Morales, he's fighting on that undercard. He's fighting on that card with, what's his name? Gay Flores. He fighting on Gay Flores card. He'll get back in the win column. All I know is he better be paying Curtis. We all know walking out the ring. Yeah, that shit was crazy. He gonna never live that down. I think it's good. Like Malik is my guy, yo. I like giving him a type of skill set, but I think the biggest thing is taking away. I don't even know if that took away his killer instinct, but his killer instinct ain't there. If he get his killer instinct back, it's gonna be crazy. Yeah, they do that shit. Yep, they do. They do that shit for sure. Jared Anderson about to do it. Yeah, you're right. UK fighters do that shit all the time. They be fighting guys with like 155 losses too. I'm definitely gonna watch for sure. Yeah, so yeah, man, let's get it, man. Let's get it. All right, so they finally announced the full card for Benavidez versus Morrell. The pay-per-view, February the 1st. The light heavyweights, you got those guys fighting for the WBA regular and the WBC interim. The winner is the mandatory for the winner between Beterbiev and Bivol. So this is a big time fight. Y'all seen the promotion, the back and forth for it. I can't wait for this shit. It's gonna be crazy. Undercard, so the pay-per-view card, you got the co-main event is Brandon Figueroa versus Stephen Fulton. That's for the WBC featherweight title. Pitbull Cruz versus Angel Ferreira. That's at 140, but that should be a fun fight. Jesus Ramos versus Jason Rosario. So today they are having a media workout. I got my guy out there, my man Gregory Carmichael. Salute to him. He's gonna be in Vegas, give me some footage, right? Benavidez is gonna work out, Figueroa, and Jason Rosario. So we're gonna have some content on the channel about that today. So that's the 4-fight pay-per-view card on what is it? Prime Video, Amazon Prime. Now on the off TV card, you got Carmelo Moulton. He's on the card. He's gonna face Kevin Castillo. John Easter is on the card. Those are Mayweather promotion fighters. You got Jose Benavidez Jr. He's on the card, off TV. Daniel Blancas, that's another stablemate in the Benavidez team. So you got a couple of guys, got a solid off TV. Got some good names off TV. So if you're gonna be at the event, if you plan on getting there early, you're gonna have some decent names fighting on the off TV. Now sometimes it depends on. PBC is real good at this. They're real good at getting these undercard fights in the ring and out the way. You know what I'm saying? Because if the show run too long, they'll have these undercard fights after the pay-per-view. You know what I'm saying? So you'll have fighters walking to the ring, after Benavidez already done walked out to the ring. You know what I'm saying? After the fight is over. So they pretty good at getting that shit before the pay-per-view starts. So yeah, that's what's up. They announced the prelims. All right, so you got a couple of WBC fights, right? You got Cuello versus Olivio. This is a WBA eliminator in featherweight for the #1 spot to become the mandatory for Nick Ball. So Cuello is an Olympian. He's a Samson Liquid fighter, so he got the spot. Olivio, I remember he fought Luis Nunes a couple years ago on the undercard of Fundora versus Mendoza. I remember that shit. And then you have the hot young Cuban fighter Yo-Yo Hernandez. So he's #1 in the WBA at 160. He only got like 3 or 4 fights. He's facing a tough Angel Ruiz, you know what I'm saying, who's a solid puncher, but at the lower weights. So he moved up to 60. Hernandez is in a position to be the mandatory for Erislandy Lara. And, you know, they pushing him. And he's in training camp with Dave Morrell. So, yeah, that's the card right there. The prelims will be on the YouTube channel. So, definitely you guys can tap in with that for sure. He said, Malik took a dive versus Wilder, man. That's cap. We ain't going for none of that shit over here. We also got dope punches because his thing's gunshot. Yeah, no, for sure. He got to let them shits go. You know what I'm saying? Punch didn't even land. He got hit with a hook, yo. He missed that hook. Great fight card. Whatever he's teaching Zerto is happening, but it's not the right trainer for Wilder. I think I think he gotta get Wilder more aggressive. Like, I'm like this, bro. He got the biggest weapon in the game, basically, and you ain't letting that shit go. Nah, I like him aggressive, holding the center ring, and kind of, you know, being awkward. But I think he was doing way too much movement, and that tells me maybe he's definitely gunshot or he afraid of his punch resistance. I'm just being honest, keep it a buck. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it seems that way though. I ain't even mad at the takes. Anyway, anyone got Fulton? I got Figgy too, yo. Like, I feel like, I'm saying, I just think, I don't know, 126. If Fulton is going to box more in this fight and not all that holding and trying to fight on the inside and prove that he can fight Figgy's fight, then he have a good chance of winning. But if he do the same thing, I don't see him doing anything different. I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, Ramos. Yeah, I like Jesus Ramos. Yeah, go to the body, yo. I want Fulton to win. Yeah, I had Fulton in the first fight. Yeah, it was like that. Nah, for sure. It was a close fight. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. That the Anyway fight took it out of him, and we seen the Castro fight, and the fight with Figgy. The first fight could went either way. Like I said, he gonna have to box a little bit more, maybe. I don't suggest fighting Figgy's fight. This fight is at 126, so we'll see if that be a difference, man. You know. Yeah, we'll see, man. Figgy gonna catch him. Probably the punch resistance. Yeah, the punch resistance for sure. Alright, we keep it moving. Alright, yo, this kind of. So this is my shit like a month ago, right? I was just fucking around. I ain't gonna lie. And they was talking about, I was like, yo, Tank should fight Mark Macedo. Now, this is around the time where we were trying to figure out who Tank was going to fight. Because they say Rayo was going to do something else. You know, whatever. The people, you know, we were just trying to figure out who Tank was going to fight before the Lamont Roche fight got selected, right? So it comes out recently, I think Ellis Sepe put this out, that Mark Macedo is the replacement opponent for the Tank and Roach fight. So this is me just throwing shit in the air, right? But my shit be sticking, whether I be for real or not. Because look, I know ain't nobody on this whole boxing space been talking about Mark Macedo versus Tank Davis. Ain't nobody said that. So that's my shit. I'll take credit for that. So I don't think nothing gonna happen. They'll go through with it, but just in case, if something happened, that would be the replacement. But in real talk though, I'm talking about tapping into the Filipino market. That actually makes sense though. Like in a marketing standpoint, if Tank really don't got nobody to fight over there and that's marketable, the most marketable guy over there really is Mark Masayo in and around that weight class. And y'all like maybe he's not better, but this dude got. I know his social media is crazy, and you know the Filipinos is gonna ride. They ride. You know what I'm saying? So that was just me throwing out there because at the time nobody knew who Tank was gonna fight. They was keeping a secret on that shit and whatever. So I was just fucking around right there. But damn, he's the replacement opponent. That shit's hella funny. That's funny. Yeah, Mark Marcelo. Yeah, bro. Yeah, I did. They know. I sent that shit to all them. The promoter, Mark Marcelo's promoter. They talked to me. Yeah, they know what it is. All right. So off of me, yo. So I've been talking about this for a minute too. Abdullah versus Mortala. They working on this fight for the IBF interim title. So just a backstory. We know Lomachenko is the IBF champion. Right now, he dropped his medical exemption because he said he had a back injury, right? He won the vacant title against Kambosos last May, and he haven't made a title defense or mandatory or nothing. We know he was going to go into a fight with Tank Davis. He won in the mood. Then he claimed a back injury. So to keep the division going, which I love, Adelaide versus Mortala, the two highest rated guys. Now, this is another thing, a twist to the story. Adelaide and Lomachenko has the same manager. So, of course, they probably weren't going to fight each other. So, they put Adelaide in position to fight for the vacant title. You know what I'm saying? So, that pretty much was like a telltale sign that Lomachenko probably ain't coming back. Maybe he just prolonging and he haven't made an official announcement of retirement. But this, when your manager is making moves, this guy, because Adelaide was like highly ranked in the WBA and WBC. Why not go those routes? But you take him the IBF route. Even Adelaide had a fight scheduled for eliminator for the number 2 spot. He had a schedule for Russia. His opponent at the time, Juan Caceres, right, from Argentina, he couldn't get out the country. So they had to reschedule it. They rescheduled the fight and took it to Argentina, his home country. Now you gotta be hell bent on your plan to leave Russia and go to Argentina to fight in the guy's hometown just to become IBF. This has become like a secondary mandatory or win an eliminator. So that tells me that was the plan all along. Mortala is number 3. He's the next available guy. It's a top ranked fight. He just kind of lost in the shuffle. He's a good fighter, but he's not really been marketable. You know what I'm saying? He ain't really selling himself. He real quiet. He go about his business. He have up and down performances. Like he was looking like a killer before the Tevin Farmer fight. Then Tevin Farmer gave him a good fight, good work. I thought he beat Tevin Farmer, but because Tevin Farmer slowed down late in that fight, and now they writing him off, saying he ain't this, he ain't that. Then he came back, had a highlight reel performance. And then now some people back on, some people not. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of people that was on his bandwagon because they want him to beat Shakur. Some people say, oh, he ducked Shakur. He never ducked Shakur never ducked him. The top rank won't gonna make that fight. Y'all have to think. When Shakur, his last fight on top rank, they was not going to give him one of their guys they got locked in so he can beat them. He can beat that young guy and go out the door. You know what I'm saying? After beating that guy, then they got to rebuild his career. They gave him a cheap fight. They gave him Artem, who is a cheap opponent. You can fight him, and we turn down your credibility out the door. That's what they did. Now, Mortala is another guy that's been in the mix for Teofimo and other guys. Teofimo turned him down for 140. But he's a guy. It's just he can get lost in the mix because he's very quiet and he don't really promote himself. The only real promotion he got is with his team, with Robert Garcia them. So, yeah. But yeah, this has been the play for the longest time. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. He even when Shakur was trying to look for a replacement to fight on February 22nd before they settled on Floyd Schofield, they reached out for Mortala and they was like, nah, we got a plan already. You know what I'm saying? And they've been calling out Shakur for the longest, but all of a sudden, when Shakur reach out, they got a plan. So they've been looking at this opportunity for a minute. You know what I'm saying? So let's see. Let's see. And nice little segue because they just announced this fight right here, which we already knew that was coming. So that's a good fight. So Baranachek, Dennis Baranachek versus Keyshawn Davis, February the 14th for the WBO title. If Mortala get the IBF, in-house fight between the winner, everybody expecting Keyshawn to win. So it's a nice little build-up for that. But they announced the full card. We know Keyshawn had his coming out party, his homecoming fight in November. That shit went crazy. It couldn't go no better for homecoming. They sold out the venue. He had a crazy performance, and now he get the opportunity to fight for the WBO title. But Ranachek is a tricky fighter. You know what I'm saying? He switches a lot. Got the amateur school. He's tough. Not a big puncher, but he's very awkward. So this is a type of fight where Keyshawn probably have to concentrate a little more. Maybe keep it more basic. Because this guy right here do a lot of tricky shit in the ring. He beat Navarrete, and not really a pretty fight, but he just he outboxed him, outfought him, out everything. But he didn't really do like so crazy. It's just Navarrete was just he was bad that night. So we're gonna see. But Ranachek, before everybody really knew who he was, his biggest claim to fame is his ring walks, right? He used to have crazy ring walks. If you go back and Google him, he said he out awkward Navarrete now for sure. Yeah, he got good footwork, good angles. He's solid. Yeah, he's a good fighter. You know what I'm saying? He's good. You know what I'm saying? He's tough. He experienced. He's seasoned. He been there with some solid competition. Yeah, it was hard to watch. But Baranachek is known for his ring interests and stuff. And before he really hit, and he's an Olympian. You know what I'm saying? So 2 Olympians going at it for the WBO title. So yes, sir. February the 14th. All right, so they announced the undercard as well. Xander Zayas versus Slava Spumer. This is a good fight, y'all. Y'all don't know who Spumer is. Go do your research. He's a German fighter. Real good. Solid. You know, kind of basic, but he's solid. He good. You know what I'm saying? This is not no easy fight for Xander. You know what I'm saying? It's a nice little step. Xander is number 1 in the WBO at 154. Spumer, I think he's like top 10. So it's not a mandatory fight. It's just a good fight against a ranked opponent. So yeah, this is the co-main event. You have Vito Mielnicki Jr. So he's making his 160 debut, middleweight. You know, he started at 140 and he all the way up at 160. So he's growing. We was thinking he signed with Top Rank so he can get a fight with Xander down the line in NYC. That's a good NYC fight. But looking like he's going a different route right now. He's fighting at 160 against Conor Coyle, who is I think he's like top 5 in the WBA. So that's a good ranking for him. Vito is number 5 in the WBA at 154. So maybe he just reclass to 160 and they can make a fight right there. Yeah, bro. I think it's a solid fight. You know what I'm saying? Especially for NYC and just you got the Irish against the Polish, so you should have a solid crowd. So a lot of the people on this card is like more so, you know how diverse NYC is, right? New York City, you got everybody, different backgrounds. So this is one of those fights. All right, we got the return of Jared Big Baby Anderson. So he's going to return coming off that knockout loss to Bacoli, where it was a step too much for him. You know what I'm saying? He was doing some good things in that fight, but he just stayed there too long waiting for that. And I think he underestimated the speed and stuff like that of Bacoli. But nevertheless, came off of that, took the opportunity. Not a lot of guys knocking on Bacoli's door. Came up short. He needed to bounce back. He's back in the 10-rounder versus a guy from, I think he's from Sweden, Marios Kalas. So I think they got like 12-3. So it was another, it's a step back fight, kind of like if Deontay fight Harper. That's like a step back fight just to get your shit back together and get back in the win column. So yeah, man, Jared Anderson, he's young. If he wanted, he's still young enough to improve and get his shit together because the heavyweight division is popping right now. So with a win or two, he'll be right back in the mix. You know what I'm saying? Be right back in the mix. So yeah, it's good that he's back for sure. For sure. Let me see. He said, yeah. He said, never heard of Spoon. Yeah, go watch some tape, man. He's good. He's solid, bro. He said, I want some money picking him over now. Red tape. Oh yeah, Beretta check. 160 wide open. Yeah, it's a tough division. I think when the top guys fight each other, it's gonna be real good. But the guys underneath, for real, yeah, it's an opportunity for one of these guys to creep through the cracks for sure. All right, and stand on this undercard. Y'all know how Tyron get down with the young guys. So we have we got Polanco versus Torres. So this fight is at welterweight. You know what I'm saying? It's a significant fight because if Polanco win, he can be in position to get a world title fight with Brian Norman Jr. sometime down the line. We know Brian Norman Jr. is going to come back in March, make a title defense. Polanco, if he wins, he like number 13 in the WBO. He's facing Torres, who is like, I think he's like 13. Torres is like 11 or 12 in the WBO. And if Polanco wins, he's in position to get a world title shot against Brian Norman. Abdullah Mason is back, the hot prospect. You know what I'm saying? He's facing Manuel James. We just seen James fight Rolly at 140. You know what I'm saying? It was Rolly comeback fight. You know what I'm saying? So Mason, they kind of slowing him down some more because he was talking about 10 rounders. They still got him at 8 coming off that last fight where it was a classic 2-round fight. Round of the year, the first round, because he got dropped twice. He came back and dropped the guy, and then he stopped him in the second. You know what I'm saying? So they probably taking like a minor step back facing James. So then he get through this, maybe they'll push him because it's time. Mason he's top 15 now. He just got his first rankings on all these fights he done had. He just got ranked by the WBO and the WBC. So this is the time to go ahead and start making the move. Especially you got Keyshawn fighting for the WBO, Tyler for the IBF. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he can get in the mix. Tiger Johnson is back. You know what I'm saying? He's facing another kid from Ohio. You know, he's facing Quishan Tolan, which can be a tough fight for him too. Tiger, you know, he's another one of those guys that's kind of like, what we gonna do with him? You know what I'm saying? After a while, they're gonna have to start pushing him to fight top guys. You know what I'm saying? He got a bunch of fights with top rank. They've been giving him tough opposition, but he'll look good. Then he'll look okay. Look good. Then he'll look so. So we'll see if he can stay consistent. Nico Ali Wash is back. Keon Davis, I'm excited about him. Keyshawn's younger brother, he's back. Woman's son, Manito, he's back. He's making his debut. He just signed with Top Rank. So, you know, y'all know how Top Rank do. February 14th, a lot of young fighters. ESPN Plus, ESPN. So, I'm going to show y'all tap in for sure. Do apparently is strong. 10 wins, 10 to 12 by knockouts. Yeah, I think Big Baby, yeah. Because Big Baby was fighting that level before he stepped up. You know what I'm saying? I think Charles Barton was his only big step up, and that was a late replacement, right? So the matchmakers knew what they was doing. They knew what they was doing. PGA's big dog in the building. What's good with you, bro? Salute. All right. Then we're going to get into some 140 talks. You know what I'm saying? 140 is still a good division, too. There's more bum badges. Yeah, it's some good fights. I think the Polanco-Torres fight is solid. Tiger Johnson got a solid fight. And the rest of them is kind of like developmental fights. Xander got a good fight. Yeah, there's some good fights on the card. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's good fights. For sure. All right, we're going to talk about some 140 business. But before I get to 140, there's another fight announcement that just came through. We got the young kid, Callum Walsh, the Irish fighter They try to turn him into a matinee star. What they say, y'all remember John Duddy? They trying to turn him into a John Duddy. He's fighting at the theater at MSG, March the 16th. You know what I'm saying? St. Patrick's Day weekend, a week, or whatever it is. So he's back. He's a young fighter at 154 pounds. I think a fight with him and Xander at MSG would be crazy. I'm telling y'all, like, just because y'all know that community, Irish, Puerto Rican, that would be crazy one day when they can get up to a certain level. So yeah, he's back March the 16th. UFC Fight Pass. He's with 360 Promotion, Tom Laughlin and them. So that's what it is. We're about to get into this 140 talk. 140 taking off. Oh, I just got tickets to March 16th. Okay. Yes, sir. That's what's up, bro. Yes, sir. All right, man. We're going to start with Teofimo Lopez, the WBO champion, 140. He turned down fights. We was expecting him to face Subriel Matias. The writing was on the wall because Matias, he entered the new WBO rankings at number 4. And we know normally when they do stuff like that, that means if they already blessed off on a fight and a fight potentially going to get made. Teofimo is having promotional issues with Top Rank, and they haven't settled that. And I was kind of, when all these fights was coming about with him supposed to be offering Boots a fight and Haney a fight and all this, I always ask myself in the back of my mind, have he cleared up the situation with Top Rank? I know he was suing them. Obviously, he hasn't. He may be out of the ring for a while. I don't know. I think the less he talk, the better it be. Because he out here going crazy on his social media and all these platforms. He probably just need to let his lawyers or whoever do their business. Now, I know he linked up with Canelo's lawyer, and he's supposed to be linking up with Eddie Reynoso in his training camp. And we'll see, man. He unpredictable. So it's like the Subriel Matias fight, that's the fight we wanted. We want the Haney fight more than anything. You know what I'm saying? But he turned down the Turkey Island Sheep fight to fight on Top Rank. And we know Top Rank ain't paying more than Turkey Island Sheep. That's just, I think, even if we don't know the numbers, we can make that fair assessment, right? So I don't know what's up with him. You know what I'm saying? But every move or everything that happens is a domino effect, right? And here's the domino. Catterall versus Barbosa. Now, originally, this is the WBO final eliminator for Teofimo. So still the eliminator to become the mandatory for Teofimo Lopez. Both teams is trying to get it to be a WBO interim title fight based on what Teofimo got going on. So it's looking like he's going to go into a legal battle with Top Rank that's going to keep him out the ring for a long time. So in the meantime, they want to be an interim champion just in case he don't come back. Because he's been calling out everybody. Junior middleweights, welterweights, all types of fighters, but he ain't said nothing about staying in the division. You know what I'm saying? So he unpredictable. So I say that's a good move. In this case, that's a good move. Look, 2023, Teofimo retired, didn't he? Did he retire? He retired and held up the division. Barbosa was the mandatory for Teofimo when he was doing all that shit. You know what I'm saying? So I think an interim tag on this fight makes sense, right, for this situation. So let's go. You know what I'm saying? We'll see if they bless off on it. These guys going to fight February the 15th. We're watching Duddy Campbell. Yeah, that shit. Yo, Duddy had the MSG rocking, bro. I was at the Duddy fight. Okay. Yes, sir. Duddy had that shit rocking. He live in that fight. Yeah, that's going to be a very tactical fight. Who going to be the aggressor? That's interesting. 2 counter punches, 2 guys that kind of they really like guys being the aggressor, being the attacker. Catterall is one of those guys that can lull you to sleep. Won't really do too much, and then all of a sudden he got you hurt, or he'll just end up winning these rounds. And man, we're gonna see. Steph in the building. What's good with you, bro? He said I'm picking Jack. Yeah, I think Jack got. I think Jack probably got the more momentum. And the last time we seen Barbosa against a southpaw, he didn't look good. So yeah, Jack got it for sure. Yeah, man, we're gonna see. I think It's actually a closer fight than what we're giving it credit for because Barbosa has always been a good fighter, but I don't know. I just got a feeling Barbosa might get this one, y'all. I don't know. We're gonna see. I gotta do a little bit more studying and breaking it down. But Calabar is one of those guys that's probably got a little bit more momentum, and he fighting at home, and we're gonna see, man. He looked terrible in his last outing. What fight did you see? Which last outing you saw? Because I thought he looked pretty solid against Ramirez. Now, if you talking about the McComb fight, then yes, against Ramirez, I mean he shut Ramirez down. He just outboxed him. He ain't really attack him and go crazy like that. But that's why I was asking, which fight did he see? Because I thought he looked okay against Ramirez because that was a good style for him. Ramirez was gonna come forward all night and pressure, and he just outboxed him. He stepped to the left, stepped to the right, had a good stiff arm, good jab. He was making Ramirez look old in there. But Sean McComb, okay, Sean McComb, yeah, he looked like some shit for sure. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Yeah, that was okay. Okay, we good. Okay, we good now. Yeah. All right, so staying with 140. So like I said, domino effect. Teofimo was supposed to talk about fighting Subriel Matisse, right? Now, since that fell apart, Matisse and Elvis Rodriguez has been ordered by the IBF, final eliminator for Richardson Hitchens, right? Shoot, this is like it'd be a fun fight too. They was close to fighting last year. They was in talks to fight. Elvis Rodriguez just signed back with Top Rank. I mean, he look, I don't know, so. I mean, I know he had a couple of fights with PBC. He looked like he got his shit back together. But I don't know, yo. He got, I know in the first fight with Top Rank, he got clipped. And the other one, it won't memorable. You know what I'm saying? Nothing that I can take home about it. But he is a good fighter, though. And I think this is a good matchup. Puerto Rican, Dominican. I don't know. So, yeah. So, because the Teofimo didn't accept the Matisse fight for the biggest purse that he was going to get, then now the IBF's like, all right, fuck it. There's the two highest rated contenders. We're going to order that fight. So Hitchens is he's in a voluntary state. It talks about him fighting in May. You know what I'm saying? Eddie said he want to do the Kambosos fight, but Kambosos is doing a comeback fight, welcome to 140 fight. So he fighting in March. I don't know if he's going to turn around and fight Hitchens in May. So Hitchens gonna fight somebody in the top 15. We'll see who they select. I'm thinking guys like Gabriel Gallus. I would love for him to fight somebody like Michelle Rivera or what's the other kid? Jermaine Ortiz for Hitchens, but we'll see. But yeah. So yeah. So now y'all starting to see the domino effect from Tio turn down fights. Then looking like he may be out for a while. So the division has to move on. We ain't waiting for nobody. I think that's how it should be. Unless it's like a special circumstance. You know what I'm saying? If a guy's at a division for a while and he got mandatories and he ain't trying to do nothing, then we should go and we should move forward. You know what I'm saying? And this is a good fight though. But also, we have to wait to see. So they got till tomorrow or this weekend. Both guys have to accept the IBF order. So it's not a done deal yet. We gotta wait. We have to see if Elvis is going to accept the order because he's not the highest rated guy. Matisse is. And then they was talking about Top Rank was trying to make Elvis Rodriguez versus Yomar Alamo. Like, why are we trying to see that fight? You might as well go fight Eliminator, and you was already talking about fighting Matisse. So maybe that fight is out the way. You know what I'm saying? We don't need to see that fight. I'm thinking he'll keep that order, he'll keep that position and try to fight Matisse. So we'll see. You know what I'm saying? And then maybe this is a fight that they can, because they was trying to do March the 15th for Teofimo. Maybe they can do this fight right there for March the 15th. I know Matisse was trying to come back March the 8th. Yeah, March the 8th in Puerto Rico. He was bumping heads with Berlinga for that date in Puerto Rico. So maybe, maybe this fight can happen next in March. It makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So, because if Matisse was on board with fighting Teofimo in March, he should be on board with fighting this kid right here, Elvis, in March as well. So let's get it. You know what I'm saying? And then the last one. So this was like kind of off the board on the domino effect, but it still plays a role at 140 because we got Oscar Duarte versus Regis Program. Y'all remember, if y'all was in the chat when I did the WBA rankings, that video, that live, maybe last week or so, I mentioned this fight. All right, I was like, Duarte is coming back February the 15th against a former world champion. I was giving people opportunity to guess the former world champion. Ain't nobody say nothing, so I said Regis Program. So we put that out before. It came out recently. It's all good though. As long as everybody know the real information, we good to go, right? So they trying to do this fight February the 15th in Anaheim. So I'm not sure what's going on with the fires and shit right now. If they're gonna change off that date, I don't know. But that's the date they're trying to do. Regis, this like his last. This is the last one. I don't know if this is gonna be his last. I gotta stop saying that, because these fighters can always bounce back depending on their team. But this is a tough fight, and this is a more suitable fight for his style. Now, I'm not expecting this fight to be at the 140 the weight limit. I'm expecting it to be a little higher, maybe like 144, 143, because there's no title on the line. But it's a dangerous fight for both. I think Regis' punch resistance is gone. He used to have a good chin, and now he getting dropped and cracked and beat up by guys that can't punch. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it a buck. Devin Haney ain't known to be a puncher, but every time he was touching Regis, he was hurting him. Calaral ain't known to be a puncher, and the same thing happened. This guy is known to be a puncher, Duarte. You know what I'm saying? And if he touched Regis, what's going to happen? Duarte is coming off a good-ass fight with Bakhtir Akhmadov. That fight could have went either way, too. Those guys were stumping in the pocket. And, you know what I'm saying? So, if that's another type of fight, I think I don't know if Regis going. I don't know if he got enough wear. I think his wear and tear is gone, and I think the younger, fresher guy, the bigger puncher, I think this is a fight for the Duarte to look crazy against a former world champion and a notable name. So yeah, a lot of shit to take in. So 140 is still one of the best divisions in boxing, and y'all see at the top, when something happened with the guy at the top, with the guy who's supposed to be number one, everything just domino effects. You know what I'm saying? It affects everything. We know in the WBC, we got Alberto Playo versus Sandor Martin. That's for the WBC title. On Tank Davis on the card, March the 1st. We had a domino effect with that one with Devin Haney. He actually going champion in recess. So he vacated his WBC title. So those guys going to fight for it. I don't see the WBC giving, or it ever been a situation where WBC was going to give Devin Haney his title back after he relinquished it. You know what I'm saying? I don't see them giving him that belt back to fight somebody else for unification, because that's like Indian giving, right? You went in the recess on your own choice. The WBC didn't put you in recess. You put yourself in recess. So now that you want to get unification, I want my belt back. I don't think it works like that, especially with all these contracts and lawyers. And Sandor Martin versus Playo for the WBC title is set in stone. It's going to happen. And Sandor Martin is going to fight for the WBC title regardless. They paid, $300K step-aside money to allow Haney versus Ryan Garcia. You know what I'm saying? So he going to fight for the title anyway. So I don't know if he going to get that belt back to unify with anybody else in that division. I don't see that. So that one was crazy. And then we got Rayo versus Gary Antoine Russell. Now, they supposed to be on Tank Davis on the card too, but talks came out recently. Salute to my guy Alan Dawson. Salute to him. They talking about doing that main event on his own, like doing that as his own event. Rayo versus Antoine. So we'll see, man, how all this shit shake out. But 140 is definitely a good division. It's deep from top to bottom. It's a lot of good fights that can happen. Hitchens is a new IBF champion. He looking to make a title defense homecoming fight against somebody in May. Then you got all the other players, man. It's a good division for sure. Real good division. Yes, sir. Let me see. Go back in the chat. He was on point against Jose. Thought he was solid. Yeah, that's what I thought too. But he said he missed it, so I understand now. Sean McComb was poor, but Sean tall, long reach. Yeah, he made him. Yeah, yeah. Sean McComb. We ain't seen him since, man. Evans need a big win to grab more attention. Yeah, that's a good fight for him, man. At 140, and look at Dalton Smith in a tough fight too. Yeah, he fighting for the European title. If he wins, he's in a position to fight for the WBC final eliminator and become a mandatory. Off topic, you ain't never off topic. What's good? I'm thinking of the homie at 160, 175 Cuban dude with power with braids. Can't think of his name. Iglesias. I'm not sure if Iglesias got braids or not, but that's the one that come to my mind. Iglesias fights at 168. If you talking about him, he nice. He had like a knockout of the year candidate last year. Oh man, that ain't easy for Regis. Now that's a tough fight for Regis. Yeah, that's a tough fight for him, bro. Man, that's a tough fight. I think it's a better style for Regis. He's not gonna have a guy boxing. He's gonna be coming to you. But if y'all trading and your punch position is lower than his, and your legs, like Regis' legs didn't look good the last couple of fights. Even going back to the fight he had against Zorilla. Actually, Regis been down his last 3 fights. And before that, he was noted to have a great chin. He fought a bigger puncher in Jose Zepeda and was getting clipped with shit, and he was walking through that. And Jose Zepeda is noted for being a bigger puncher than Devin Haney. Now Zorilla is a solid puncher, and he dropped Regis, but Haney wasn't considered that, moving up in weight, and also Jack Catterall. So yeah, man, maybe it's done. We'll see. Jab ain't there no more for Regis. We used to have an educated jab. Man, it's just that time, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't think he did. He might be out for a while. It's his own event. Man, Tio need to fight Rayo. Yeah, they're not in position to fight each other. Yeah, Adam Mazem. He got Sergey Lipinets. That ain't gonna be no easy fight for him. You know what I'm saying? Iglesias is like that. He like that. Not off topic, but who you guys are comeback fighter of the year? Comeback fighter of the year, probably Dubois. Dubois went crazy last year. So no undercard for Tank fight. I mean, it's definitely gonna be an undercard. I mean, from what I'm tracking for his undercard, Jamal Charlo versus Cornflake Lamana. Rayo versus Antoine. Then the thing about Rayo and Antoine having their own event, that's just something that was discussed. Not sure if it's 100% solid. Then you got Sandor Martin versus Playo. Those are fights I heard for his undercard. Stanley Yona's name was talked about, but looking like they're trying to work out him versus Boots for unification. They negotiated backwards to me, because I feel like that's some shit that should have been in play before Boots. Like, when you presented your offer and everything to sign Boots, if you match wrong, that should have been in the plans. How we going to get the Stan Jones fight. So, yeah. No, he got undercard fight. They just ain't announced it. They should be announcing it soon. I mean, look, well, we about to be, it's March the 9th? Yeah, they should be announcing it soon. Heard Tio and Chev do the turn down. Yeah, that's what it's going to look like. Because Top Rank is giving him opportunities at fights, and he turning them down. So if you turn down fights and you still got a binding contract, yeah, you're going to be on the show. Zerto might got him. It's close. I mean, I don't know, man. Zerto beat Gula Marion, And Guillermo was known as not one of the best champions. You know what I'm saying? Inactive. He probably ain't fought in like 2 or 3 years. Best, easy, good style matchup for him. Chris Bell Smith is a solid. He was a solid champion. He okay. You know what I'm saying? Compared to Dubois, who was noted to be a quitter. You know what I'm saying? He was noted to be a quitter. He came back and resurrected that shit against tough guys. Herkovic, who everybody thought Herkovic was gonna beat him, and then AJ. They had that shit as a given that AJ was gonna be champion. So to me, you compare those comebacks, I'm gonna go with Dubois. I like Sandor fight. He might become champion. Them boys fight. Playo has a lot of fight too. Yeah, that's a good fight. I just worry about Sandor Martin now. He been out the ring for over a year now. Inactivity. You know what I'm saying? Who you think Haney fights in March? Tevin Farmer. Zerto is not good, bro. That's not true. That's a false statement right there. Zerto is real good, real skilled. Nah, I don't know. You gotta go rewatch some shit. Zerto is a good fighter. Now he probably had to face the best competition and might not have the best resume per se, but as a fighter, he's very skilled. Now he couldn't do nothing with Bivol. He couldn't do nothing with him. But the way he boxed, the fight he had against Joe Smith, he boxed real well in that fight. He boxed. Look, his last fight, he's skilled. He can do a lot of things. He's versatile. You might have to go rewatch Zerto. He might lose that fight against Jay Abataya, but for you to say he's not good, you got to go reevaluate. Cause that's not true. That's a damn lie. Shit. You gotta go rewatch. He might against Jabataya. Jabataya is like that, but him not being good, that's crazy. You ain't lying. But Zerto also went from a pressure fighter to pure boxing. Yeah, we don't see that. No, we don't. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna give Malik Scott credit on that though. You know what I'm saying? Unless it's something about Deontay. Because he the one came into the camp and had him boxing. He boxed his ass off against Joe Smith. So yeah, I mean Zerto was good though. I ain't taking nothing from him. I just think the bar shit was different because he didn't have that stigma. If Zerto would have had that stigma as a quitter, then yeah. Now Zerto is like that, bro. Yeah, I don't know. You gotta tap in. Yeah, Tevin Farmer. Unified champion. Yeah, Unified champion is dope. I ain't gonna lie. I like what Zerto did. He gonna be Benavidez. Yeah. Man, we're gonna see though. Zerto, I know Zerto trying to fight anybody. I know that. And he fight Jay Abataya, beat him, and then can unify. Now I ain't putting it past him. I ain't gonna look. I know some people is kind of divided, which is good because that means we want to see the fight, Zerto and Jay Abataya. I think Jay Abataya maybe a tad strong and a little bit more dog maybe. And I think he'll probably beat Zerto. But Zerto can make a tough fight for Jay Abataya. I don't think it's a walkover. Zerto got a good chin. You know what I'm saying? He got skills. He can fight on the inside because sometimes Abataya want to fight on the inside. And when y'all see them together face to face, he gonna be probably taller and bigger than Jay Abataya. I'm telling y'all, it's not gonna be a cakewalk for Jay Abataya. But I don't know. Y'all gotta get in that film and look. That shit ain't gonna be no easy fight. Now you picking Jay Abataya is one thing, but what my man said, obliterate, run through him. I don't know. Ice him. He said ice. Yeah, I don't know. Zepeda ain't rematch Tevin. I don't think so. I don't know, man. I was just putting out what I heard though. We gonna see. Shit can change, but Zepeda, I know he's obligated to fight Shakur, and he look like he don't want that fight. So I don't know if we get that rematch. It's like why we need that rematch though? Honestly, what that do? All that it's gonna do is give Tevin Farmer more chance to beat Now I think he deserved a rematch because I thought the knockdown, I thought the fight was real close, so maybe that warranted that. But if you look at that Golden Boy, I don't know. I seen enough, not good, bro. Yeah, you gonna be back just like how you was talking about Crawford. You gonna be back here, man. I didn't even see that coming, man. Shit. Nah, bro. You gotta get them books. I don't think you seen enough. Jay Abataia probably the favorite to win that fight, but Zerto definitely got a chance. He get big props. Wilder don't dedicate to his craft. I think he do. I just don't think he can do that shit that he's trying to teach. Like I think it's good to have that movement and shit in certain spots of a fight. Well, we know Deontay's bread and butter is when he's been aggressive and letting that damn right hand go. That's what we know. And if he's not in position to do that, then it ain't no good. I'm gonna be honest, because we know what's going on with that. You think Lauren Price could stop Jonas? I don't think so, yo. I don't think she's gonna stop her. I think she's gonna be hesitant against Natasha Jonas because of the counter punching ability and her power. Jonas got good power, but I think Lauren Price probably can outbox her. It's gonna be a thinking woman's fight. I can see both ladies thinking. Yeah, I don't know, man. That's gonna be a good fight. I actually like Natasha Jonas in that fight. It's crazy. Zerlo used the old style stick. Yeah, being an outside pro boxer. Yeah, he good, man. He good. I actually think, like you were saying, he was known as a pressure fighter. Now he's a good boxer. I actually think being a good inside pressure fighter, help him out being a boxer. You know what I'm saying? Because he can mix it up. It brings more versatility to his game. You know what I'm saying? And he have a good chin, and he got good work rate. You know what I'm saying? It's just one opponent that dominated him, Bivol. But the fight before that, he dominated Canelo. So what is we saying? You know what I'm saying? And him fighting at cruiserweight, so he was heavy footed and light heavyweight and 168. Now he fleet of foot at cruiserweight. He moving better. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. I think Zerlo is like that. He's a better pure boxer, great counterpuncher. Jai's a natural fighter, quicker feet in both hands. That's a good one. I think that's what I'm saying. We gotta see that fight. Tevin rematch is a risky fight. It is. Been watching Zerlo since Arthur Abraham. Perhaps need to go back to unbiased point. He went from a puncher to a boxer, but I don't think he's elite level. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think right now at cruiserweight, he's number 2 behind Jay Abataia. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. He's nice. Zerto was nice. He's been nice, but when he added that boxing in his game, now him adding that boxing in his game make him elite. But I don't know for his division. Everybody got their own definition of what elite and great fighter is, but I think because this is another thing. He been having good game plans since he moved up to cruiserweight. Like his game plan for the Joe Smith fight, he was boxing, moving his head, he was sliding and counter punching and doing all types of good shit and fighting on the inside. He did the similar shit against Chris Bell Smith. He was strong enough because Chris Bell Smith was a stronger opponent. He was in there. He was strong enough to handle him. You know what I'm saying? Then he was piecing him up. Man, I'm trying to tell you. He said, man, Tasha Jonas is 40. I thought she lost to Mayer too, but different styles, yo, because Mayer is a come forward, aggressive. She can fight in the trenches, and she's going to make Jonas fight. I see Lauren Price kind of just boxing with her and kind of like counter punching. You know what I'm saying? I think she's going to be leery of the counter punching and the power. But her youth, you know what I'm saying, her boxing, her size, I think she's probably bigger and stronger. This should take her to victory, but I don't think it's gonna be an easy fight, yo. I don't, but I think Lauren Price is the next one. Okay, let's get it. We're gonna find out sure enough. Julian, the I forget his last name. Julian Achua and Malik Scott. They helped train him. But yeah, man, I'm excited about 2025. She did lose to May. I thought so too. However, Mayer was more hesitant in that fight. That was a good fight for sure. Yeah, it was going at it. I thought she, like, down the stretch, Mayer took control of the fight. My man ATX, what's good with you, bro? What's popping with you? Salute. Yeah, man, it's a lot of shit popping, man. A lot of news, a lot of stuff. It's probably some more shit that just came out. You know what I'm saying? But it's a lot of stuff, and I'm excited about this early 2025 schedule. And like I said, I like for every platform, every promoter to have some type of schedule, some type of consistent schedule. You know what I'm saying? I know people got their favorites, a lot of PBC fans. I don't know, but I think PBC and Matchroom are like the two that have like fans or fanboys per se. Because I don't really see people say, I'm a top rank man, and be going hard for top rank or going hard for Golden Boy. Is either Matchroom because of Eddie Hearn, or is it either PBC? You know what I'm saying? So I would like PBC supposed to have a fight card February the 15th. It's supposed to headline Elijah Garcia versus Terrell Goucher. So I feel like they need more cards like that. They got enough fighters where they can do a 3-fight card every month. You know what I'm saying? Then I guess do their pay-per-view and whatever. But yeah. So I think it's cool. ProBox got 3 cards already lined up already. 2 in February, 1 in January. You know what I'm saying? You can't beat that for sure. But it's a lot of stuff though. Looking forward to it. You think of pulling to the Benavidez fight? Nah, I ain't gonna go there. Nah. Me too. I think that always have a big year. Turkey promotional pack. Yeah, let's see what Turkey got, man. For him. But I know anyway trying to fight. Well, he gonna fight January 24th, Sam Goodman. And it's likely he gonna fight April, like the end of April against Picasso. And then looking at MJ in Saudi Arabia in the fall. So we'll see if he gets stripped with that WBA in the meantime. But if I'm MJ, bro, I'm just staying active. I'm signing the deal so I can get another fight in. You know what I'm saying? Let him keep the belt. You know what I'm saying? Because he actually, he actually risking not even getting the Inoue fight at all. Because if he pushing to get, this is how I would think. If you push him, I'm telling you, yo, we can make big money fighting in Saudi Arabia at the end of the year. Turkey gonna put that fight on. You trying to get your lawyer. So you got the same lawyer as Devin Haney. You trying to get your lawyer to get me stripped. You know what I'm saying? And then when you get stripped, if Inoue becomes WBA champion, who he gonna fight? What big fight he got for him? What big fight they have for him at 122 other than Inoue? Because Inoue don't have to fight him. He said Price probably going to either stop or make Jones retreat. Man, I don't know about that. Man, I don't know how y'all get these takes. I don't see it. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I see her being hesitant with the counterpunching and the power, and maybe outboxing her late or outworking Natasha Jones late. But stopping her, I don't know. I don't take too much credence from that fight she just had against the old girl. And the fight with Jessica McCaskill, that's a come forward fighter, put her head down, and all you gotta do is step around her and beat her up like she did. So that's a different style. Natasha Jonas got a lot of feints, you know what I'm saying? She right there boxing with you. She ain't gonna really slug with you. She's a counter puncher, and she got a hell of a right hook. Will that come into play in a fight, Southpaw versus Southpaw? I don't know. But I see Natasha Jonas making a tough fight. Ain't nobody blowing Natasha Jonas off the water. Even the Mayer fight, even the Katie Taylor fight. The only one blowing her out the water is the one she got stopped. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I think Natasha Jones is she got some tricks. You know what I'm saying? Eddie, my favorite promoter. Yes, sir. Eddie be out there. Eddie, see, I like Eddie too, but Eddie, you know, it's like you can't be 100% as a promoter because you'll talk because it's you can't be because I don't know. You can't be 100. You can't keep it 100 because it's gonna backfire on you because he talked too much in the media. He talked too much, but it's good though. It's good for the fans though because we get to see who do you favorite. Man, that's a good fight, bro. That's a good fight. I like Dubois, yo, but I think Parker gonna pose some issues in that fight with his movement, and I think his counter punching. I think he can do some things. I like Dubois though. I like Dubois. He said that's a dope fight. I think Elijah may be too big for him. Yeah, and then Terrell Goucher is one of those guys that I think he just do enough to look okay. I don't know. If he can make the weight, that's a big question. Terrell, Alex Kokars was done wide. That fight was even. No, it was an even fight. I ain't gonna lie, that shit was close. I'm picking Jonas. I like Dubois. He's my fighter of the year, 2024. Came back. Yeah, he did good, man. Salute to him for coming back. Salute to him. Yeah, Parker. Yeah, Parker's on a nice little road. Parker took a nice little break after being real active. So yeah. She's up there, man. Yeah, she can be. I mean, I'm saying, I just see her. I just see her slowing down the pace, doing a lot of feints, counter punching, being aggressive at times. I don't know. I don't see. I think it's competitive. I don't know. Maybe doing some bull sometimes. Not for sure. He do. And I feel like they're not in touch with like the politics and like the business of boxing like they think they are. Cause like that boost shit, I can speak on that shit. I can do like multiple shows on that. They did that shit's crazy how they do, and I think they all in touch with some fighters and how they promote some fighters. They all in touch. Yeah, he do. Especially if he start moving. Yeah, he do. I definitely see Daniel Dubois being the aggressive. Yeah, I agree with that. He can outbox him for sure. I got Dubois too. Um, Parker been KO'd by lesser guys. I don't know, man. But Parker was only stopped one time by Joe Joyce. So lesser guy. Oh man, I don't know. That's gonna be a good fight because Parker is a good boxer. They both the same size. Yeah, they both the same size. Parker may be a little quicker to the punch. This Dubois is so aggressive and he punching combination and he trying to get you. You know what I'm saying? He can't pull the trigger anymore. It showed in the Tim Tszyu fight. Yeah, man. I don't know. He just, he always gonna get an opportunity rocking with Al. Matchroom has a tough time beating Queens fighters. Yeah, Queensberry. What's up, Scott Nicholson? She got her own win against Queensberry. Yeah, so yeah, I don't know, man. That Parker Dubois fight, that's gonna be a good one. My favorite fight on that February 22nd card is Zane versus Caballero. That's gonna be crazy. Zane Zane versus Caballero. I seen that Turkey got a card in Panama next week. That's what's up, man. I'm like, to me, I don't care about about like how promoters like, okay, PBC got a card, man. I'm gonna watch. You know how they have guys that only want to talk about what PBC do or what Matchroom do or what whoever do. I like anything, like really, like if it's boxing on, no matter the platform, and I think the fights is good, we tapping in for sure. You know what I'm saying? I ain't with all that shit. Like, oh man, they only put on this fight, that fight. When they do put it on, I'm watching. I want to see everybody be consistent because I think it's a lot of shit for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, she should be back on the Cambosis card against Tierra Brown. If Tierra Brown win next week in Philly, that's the next fight I heard. That's what it is. I think I like Zane Caballero even better fight. Yeah, I do too, bro. Cause like I think he said he got Zane. Uh, he said not me. Zane gas is easy. So that's the intriguing thing about it though. That shit is so intriguing because we know he gonna gas out after 6 or 7 rounds, and we know Caballero is a body snatcher. But then to get to the end, to get to Zane's body, he might have to run through some shit. And we know Zane got that shit. He got quick hands for a big guy. Um, good right hook. You know what I'm saying? And Zane can punch. He heavy handed, so it's like you gotta pay a toll to get inside. But once you get there, then what's gonna happen? He said Caballero small. Caballero like 6'4", 250, ain't he? That's small. Well, he's smaller than he's smaller than Zane. Zane about 6'6", 280, 290. But Caballero ain't no small heavyweight, is he? Let's look up Caballero, man. How much Caballero weighed in his last couple of fights? I know he ain't like in the 230s. He around like 245, 250, ain't he? But Caballero is just a consistent body puncher. You know what I'm saying? He's very consistent as a body puncher. So 238, 241 for Caballero. So he been averaging about 240. I mean, that's a decent sized heavyweight, 6'3", 240. I mean, he's smaller than yeah. You know, I don't know. I don't know, but I know his body work ain't small. Shit, he be breaking them dudes down. Winston Lee, what's good with you, bro? Salute. You Valley get back on top. She has 2 wins plus a TKO victory. She just won the WBC title. She about to fight for the vacant WBA against a fighter from, I think she's from Japan. Yeah, you want me to wish her luck, but you don't even know what's going on with her. I'm good. I don't have to wish her luck. You might have to, because I already know what's popping with her. You know what I'm saying? She's training with Panda now. She should be fighting for another vacant title pretty soon. Man, I'm already tapped in. I'm good. Parker too. Parker was small too. Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah, good point. He is dangerous, bro. Yeah. Zane 290. Yeah, I mean, he also 41. That's the thing though. Yeah, compared to Zane, yeah, I feel you. So that's the dilemma of the fight. That's what we want to see. If he said, "Be quiet." He said, "That's the dilemma though. Can Caballero get in the inside safely and go to work on Zane's body? And okay, we know Zane his gas tank is slim. You know what I'm saying? So that his gas tank is slim when people ain't touching his body. So imagine if Caballero. So if he get tired after 4 rounds, like my man say, let's say Caballero getting on that body from the first round, maybe that shit probably slide to 3 rounds or 2 rounds. Or I don't know. You know what I'm saying? yeah. She good though. She gonna be in a good position for some good fights. I mean, let's see if she want to be great and go fight Gabby Fundora. Beat Gabby at 108. Let's see. Let's get it. Because Gabby said she can make 108. Gabby been coming in like 110, 111. She said she can make 108. So let's get it. Zane has a tank. Zane has a tank. It's bad. I know. Yeah. His tank. Yeah. His gas tank is bad. Yeah. Caballero is just a solid, decent fighter. He don't really do too much crazy. It's just his body work. Man, he broke down Austin Beck. He said Zane mad horsepower on 8 miles a gallon. Yo, can't take his car nowhere. But yo, If Zayn can clip him with one of them big right hands or something, right hooks or straight left hands, we gonna see. He about to shock the world. I ain't betting against him again. Okay, okay, yeah, yeah, bro. That's my favorite fight on that card. You know what I'm saying? Gabby on a tear. Yeah, she was fighter of the year last year for sure. She did some good stuff. Yeah, we got some man. February, that's when shit like the heat get turned up. Cause Benavidez and Morrell, man, how y'all feel about that shit though? I'm loving that. I like Fabio Warley. He's number one in the WBA. I like him. I like him. Fast, good puncher. You know what I'm saying? He's exciting. You know what I'm saying? He don't got the amateur experience, but I think that actually helped him. You know what I'm saying? Because he's a fighter. He come to fight. I think a perfect fight for him is to get that regular title off of Pulev. Yeah, he said Morrell. Yeah, I think man, I actually can see both guys winning this fight. Either way, I like Benavidez in the fight, but I think this gonna be one of the fights where Benavidez is kind of cautious early. But I'm gonna tell you the telltale sign is when Morrell land a good shot on him or perceive a good shot, and Benavidez starts smiling and shit. It's over. It's over. He gonna bully ball him. Now Morrell, see the interesting thing about him. I want to see if he gonna start boxing. Now I ain't saying moving and running around the ring, but he got the Cuban school of boxing. And he really haven't been using that shit in the pros. He just been going at dudes and trying to get him up out of there. And then another thing, this gonna be the biggest guy that he done fought, and vice versa. They both fight their size. You know what I'm saying? Somebody their same size. So maybe the punch resistance may be good for both. We're gonna see. We're gonna see how it's gonna affect. But I like to see Morrell kind of use some lateral movement in this fight. It helped Caleb Plant. You know what I'm saying? I think he can touch Benavidez for sure. You know, because Andre was touching him. Everybody can touch Benavidez, but the thing is, he'll just wear you down over the stretch of the fight. You know what I'm saying? So I love the fight. I think it go either way. Either way. And we're going to see Morrell get tested. So we seen Benavidez get tested, and we seen him against, good guys and stuff like that. And we seen what he can do. But let's see what Morrell going to do, because the jury is still out. You know what I'm saying? He been looking like a killer against the opponents he had. That's why people don't understand what happened in the Hot Rod fight. Because when you see Hot Rod's whole name, you think he a bum. Or you don't know who he is. But Hot Rod is a decent, serviceable light heavyweight. Been like that for years. For about 8, 9 years, 10 years or some shit. And nobody really beat up on Hot Rod other than Beterbiev. Morrell couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? He had some issues with the boxing and stuff like that. That got tricky. He been around. And Morrell didn't really know what to do in that fight. He didn't really make no real adjustments in that fight. He was just a more fluid fighter, boxing. And he was being aggressive, but that shit wasn't working. It ain't 168 no more. So people saw that, and they kind of jumped off the train because they didn't give him the credit. So it's not the fighter's fault. The fighter is not the bum. It's the fan. The fan be the bum. The fans really are more bums than the fighters because they lack knowledge and shit. And so they just say some shit that they don't know about, and then they gotta go back and fix themselves. If they know about how good Hot Rod is and what he brought to the table, then they would understand it. Same thing with Benavidez fighting Vultures. I thought Benavidez dominated the first 8 or 9 rounds. And, Vulture's been in the division for a long time, former world champion. He got those last couple of rounds. He did well in the back half of the fight. But that didn't tell me that Benavidez is less of a fighter. Because he was getting busy those first like half of the fight, he definitely dominated. I gave him like the first 8 rounds. So, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. We're gonna see. I can't wait for that fight. I can't wait for that fight. All right, let me see where I'm at in the chat, man. I appreciate you guys' support too. Salute to everybody coming through the building. I don't want to miss no chat. Let me see. He said Benavidez to figure out the tricky fighter. I want to see how he responds when Morrell lines up that hook. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how both guys, you know, because they both facing guys their same size. But yeah, I'm with you on that for sure. To experience Morrell. Yeah, I hear that narrative a lot about that in big fights and in the pros. I get it. That's good. If Morrell decides to be a boxer puncher and a counter puncher in this fight, he gonna have a lot of success. And then I don't know. I think just to counteract that, Morrell got the experience to outbox him if he want to. I really do believe that because of the Cuban school of boxing. What was his amateur record? 100 and something. That shit do matter when you know how to box. And Morrell know how to box. He's just been in the pros dominating shit. And if he can punch like we think he can punch, why not set traps for the Mexican monster? And then the experience gonna be out the door. Because what David gonna do with a guy that can box and punch? See that, and then we gotta see if that experience is. Then we'll see if he's too experienced. If he got too much experience, he can handle that. Because Morrell, if he box and punch and he can punch and counter punch and using lateral movement here and there and kind of walking Benavidez into some shots, yo, we gotta fight. Morrell's gonna lose in experience. So that's what I'm saying. Inexperience, and I'll make adjustments. So we're gonna have to see. That's the big question. I think, look, I look at it kind of different. If he start boxing, what experience I'm talking about against a boxer puncher, what experience do Benavidez have against a boxer puncher? I don't know. Because Plant ain't a boxer puncher. He's a boxer. You know what I'm saying? He had one highlight reel knockout against Darrell, but it ain't consistent. You know what I'm saying? And he struggled with the lateral movement of Caleb Plant. And he was struggling with the speed and the movement of Caleb Plant, but he wasn't really concerned with the power. What if he's concerned with the power against Morrell? Would it make him hesitant? Would it slow down his punch count? How would his experience react to that? Well, we haven't seen him in the ring with nobody that brings that to the table. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. We're gonna see. Step back uppercut from Shields with Benavidez down. Who is Shields? Step back uppercut from Shields could have been Ronnie Shields giving Morrell the game plan to throw that step back uppercut. We'll see. I know Ron Graville dropped Benavidez with a jab, like an all-balanced jab. He said, I got Benavidez. Both of them carry their power to 175. Yeah, against tough guys. Yeah, tough guys that come to win, or tough guys that been in the division for a long time. Strong guys at the weight. Yeah, I take that in consideration too, because I mean, look, those two guys, Vocic and Hot Rod, they both lost to the biggest puncher, arguably in boxing, Beterbiev. And nobody ever said that those guys had big power like Beterbiev. So I don't know. Maybe I think they got the power. It's just not like it's definitely not like 168. But if you have to compare their power to the opponents that stopped them, ain't nobody's touching Beterbiev. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna see. That's the best thing about it, that we can go like this about the fight, and we talking about it because it makes it must see. Just had the Caleb Plant win, so looking forward to Benavidez showing out and putting the boxing world. He beat Darrell too. The rail was a good win. Hot Rod showing me Morrell doesn't know how to make adjustments. Let's get it. Let's get it. He said they're the only one who corrects the fans. Salute. Always tells to go back. You got to though. You know what I'm saying? A lot of shit you do. It'll help you out. He's showing me that he doesn't have heavy hands at 175. Yeah. Do you guys believe? Because do you guys believe that he was injured? Because he said he was. I know he had a cut. He hurt both of his hands. He said he 100% now. I mean, can we like get him the benefit of the doubt for that? If he said he was hurt and he still took the fight, he didn't want to pull out the fight because it was a big event. I don't know. Let's see. That is so many questions to answer. That's why I want to see this fight so bad, though. I believe it's going to be like that. Morrell can box and punch, so that's what I'm saying. Makalo fighting too. Yeah, he got Pedraza. They keep picking on Pedraza, man. They keep picking on him. Pedraza gonna mess around. And but Makalo should win that fight. He should win that fight. He slowed down, went to the clinch. Yeah, it was a body shot in the middle of that fight that slowed down the whole fight. If Morrell does use his feet and show the Cuban style, it could pose a very beneficial versus Benavidez. Not for sure, because he had footwork flaws. Benavidez squares up a lot. You know what I'm saying? He cut the ring off, but he more so walks straight to you. That Cuban, that footwork, it can kind of offset him. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. He can set traps based off that footwork and that counter punch. So I want to see Morrell show some shit and make adjustments. Like you said, you didn't see him making a Hot Rod fight. Let's see if he can do it in this fight. If he's saying that Benavidez is a robot, because you know one thing is going to happen. Benavidez is going to test your manhood. He's going to test it. And we haven't seen nobody really fight back at Morrell, bro. Let's keep it honest. I thought Hot Rod was doing okay boxing and making him kind of look a certain way because he got a lot of experience. But Hot Rod won't really doing that crazy. I was thinking he going to win the fight. Yeah, I remember that win on the undercard. I don't think that was on there. That was on that was on Spence and Porter's undercard. Benavidez did fight on Spence and Garcia card, but he fought Jadion Love. Yeah. Undercard with Ferrer versus Fire 2. Our first of the year, really. Man, it's okay. It's alright. You know what I'm saying? It's okay. It's okay. I like the Fulton and Figgy fight. I think Pitbull Cruz and Fiera are gonna be the best fight on that undercard. And then Jason Rosario versus Jesus Ramos. That's a good fight. Benavidez does have good work. Yeah, get him in position. Yeah. I think with Benavidez, he comfortable when he starts to kind of like switch a little bit and lead with the right hand. He'll like switch to the southpaw. He'll start jumping in with that right hand. And Benavidez is bringing that shit. Yeah, you had it mixed up, but it's all good though. He did fight on both of Spence undercards that time. It's gonna be crazy. And February is like the month of light heavyweights because we got that big fight, Benavidez and Morrell. We have the next week at light heavyweight, you got Zach Parker versus Willie Hutchinson. Now that's a lower fight, but it's still an important fight for light heavyweight because those guys can get in position because they're on the right side to maybe get a big fight. You know what I'm saying? Working with Queensberry. And then you got Beterbiev and Bivol. Beterbiev and Bivol, the rematch, undisputed, on the 22nd February. On that undercard, you got Callum Smith versus Joshua Bowaxi. So, light heavyweight division, let's go. You know what I'm saying? Let's get it. And that's for the WBO interim title. You know what I'm saying? So, they're coming back. When's Anthony Yarde going to make a good fight again? Is he lost in the mix at light heavyweight? I'm not even sure. I know he was having promotional issues with uh, Frank Warren, so he left him. He had a working relationship with Boxer. He had one fight, and after the first knockdown, he ain't really look good after that. Man, I'm not sure, man. He should be in the mix, but right now he's definitely out because he left Frank Warren at the time where Frank Warren can get you the biggest fight available. Because all of Frank Warren top fighters are getting big fights, getting world title fights, and all that good shit. He left Frank Warren in the midst of all that. So the relationship Frank Warren had with Turkey, he basically the lead promoter of Turkey, Frank Warren. You know what I'm saying? All the contracts that's written is written through Queensberry Promotions. You know what I'm saying? So if Turkey make an offer, like when Turkey made the offer for Boots, it came from Queensberry Promotions. They got the offer. Eddie didn't offer. Golden Boy didn't offer. It was Turkey offered the fight through Queensberry, who written out the contract. So he left them at this time right now where they making big fights and putting on big events. So he kind of assed out right now. He's on the outside looking in, and he's like a promotional free agent. Who gonna really rock with him right now? And he don't got the promotion, the political connection right now to get be the mandatory or get him an eliminator or do something like that. So yeah, I don't know, bro, what's gonna happen with him. He said good stuff. Frank Warren was helping him out. Yeah, they having issues, so I don't know. I thought it was gonna be Yard versus Waxy. That actually made sense to me. But we'll see, man. I don't know. But yeah, like heavyweights is popping. Oh man. So I'm just excited, man. Hopefully you guys can tap in with what we got going on. This weekend though, before I go, I just want to remind you guys it's not a big fight weekend. The biggest fight we had was Jay Abataya, and we done with that. But Friday night we got this card. So tomorrow from Washington, Kingsley Abe versus Scott Alexander. I'm still trying to get some TV for this, a link or something. Austin Brooks is on the card against Rosalindo Morales. So Austin Brooks has a top 15 ranking at the WBA at 130. And then on Saturday in the UK, this is a boxer. It'll be on Peacock in the United States. You got Cal Simpson, who's a world-rated fighter. He's gonna face Steve Woodall. Steve Woodall is a tough fighter. Been around for a while. He's a tough guy. He got a knockout victory over LeBron Richards. So yeah, that should be a good one. Caroline Dubois versus Jessica Camaro. That's for the WBC lightweight title. So yeah, that's what we got on deck, man. And then after that, next week, it's gonna pick up. The boxing schedule gonna pick up. I'm looking forward to So Cold versus Pacheco. Yeah, me too. That's a good one too. That's a very important fight because Pacheco is a WBO mandatory. It's a step up for both guys, and it's like different. It's crazy because they like kind of like in different stages of their career. So Cold, he's like 36. He really ain't had a lot of top fights and had big showcase performances. So this is kind of like a breakout for him. I mean, he been always on Crawford undercards. So this is like the first time he's got his own shit going. You know what I'm saying? Without tag teaming with Crawford. And it's crazy because he haven't been getting a lot of big opportunities. And now at 36, this like his do or die for him. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he lose this fight and if something bad happens to him in this fight, he might be done. You know what I'm saying? I mean, at this level. So this is his biggest opportunity. Pacheco got the Canelo ticket. You know what I'm saying? Young fighter. And he been real active. So he's the favorite in that sense because we've been seeing him more. But this is probably a 50-50 fight, y'all. I'm not even gonna hold you. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. They got a lot at stake. Pacheco, if Pacheco goes crazy and have a dominant, spectacular performance over So Cold Nelson, that probably be his best fight, best win of his career, and that's gonna expedite the Canelo fight, plus possibly. If Canelo haven't, you know what I'm saying, pinned in on a fight for May yet, Pacheco might be the front runner if he go crazy on So Cold Nelson, because the mandatory ain't due till September, but that can probably expedite shit. So yeah, that's an important fight. Why is Fedor inactive waiting on Spence? Because of the money, the money. He's going. They going to follow their guidance from their advisor who put them in position. Al Hammond put him in position to where he's at. So if he say wait, he gonna wait. If they say we gonna wait for the Spence fight until we get everything together, he gonna wait. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. Money. And you gonna listen to your advisor. Perfect world, he should have fought already. Even a defense, he should have fought already. But they hell bent on making this Spence fight. It's just nobody knows when it's gonna happen. Fuck around and go to the summer. I'm gonna come back in the game rusty. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's gonna come back in the game rusty. That's the motto. That's just how they do. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it is. Mark Marcelo, he just fought in December. Right now, he is the replacement standby opponent for Gervonta Tank Davis and Lamont Roach. So if anybody falls out, he's going to be the replacement. So with that being said, it's more likely he's going to have a fight on that undercard. You know what I'm saying? So he's going to be ready and fight on that undercard just in case. So maybe he'll just fight some regular opponent to be on the card. So I'm that's my guess. That's what they normally do. David P, nice shout out, LA. Yeah, Pacheco. Yeah. I went to his fight in August when he fought Selecki. So Cole was a nasty fight. Oh, So Cole's nasty last fight. Yeah, he was nasty his last fight. Yeah. Nah, So Cole can fight. So this is how I see this shit, right? Pacheco's toughest fight of his career, to me, was the Sean McCalman fight. Right? That guy was tricky, you know what I'm saying? The guy with the dreads, he was a good boxer, he was aggressive, he was boxing, he had solid power. Last couple of rounds, he ran out of gas. It's interesting. Sean McCalman has been training or has trained before with T. Bomac. He been in that camp before. I feel like we're going to see a fight like that with Nelson, because this is Nelson's last opportunity. This is like his first and last opportunity to get a world title shot, to be honest. He can implement some of that game plan. I got to go back and watch that fight just to get a little bit more peace of mind in that. But I remember watching it. Him and Steve Nelson is kind of similar. Steve Nelson got some power. Another thing, too, that nobody's talking about, but Steve Nelson rehydrated up like 25 pounds in his last fight. On some Devin Haney shit. Like, real talk. He was like 193 fight night. He made 168, but he was 193. No, yeah, 193 fight night. So, if he can make the weight good and he can come in big and strong like that, yeah, Pacheco gonna have a tough night ahead. Yeah. Because there's a lot of details. People ain't adding to a lot of this shit, yo. They just see, he with Team Crawford. Yeah, we got that part, we know. But it's a lot of stuff. He come in big and strong, and he can kind of implement some of that game plan Sean McCalman had. Because it's tape out there on Pacheco. He been fighting a lot. You know what I'm saying? In the fight with Selecki, I mean, honestly, he was dominating the fight and whatever, boxing, but I just remember the body shot. I don't remember him doing anything crazy before that. You feel me? So, yeah, man, hey, I'm with you, bro. I'm with you. I think So Cold Nelson have a big opportunity. And he can punch, too. This might be the biggest puncher Pacheco be in the ring with, maybe. He said also David Haney shit. Nah, for real. I'm dead at. I got I seen the because California is the only one that that's mandatory to do two things, right? When you fight in California, they're gonna post everybody's fight purse, and they're gonna post your second day weigh in, and they do a mandatory second day weigh in. All the other states, they probably don't do that. You can just find that out by just good journalism or whatever. Or when you tap in. I slid Devin Haney. Yeah. Now for real, that was he gained 25. Devin gained 25, and it was in California. But yeah, they had all the weights of the fight night. So that's what, because Crawford was like 169, 168 fight night. I think he was more than Madrimov. Uh, and the biggest one was Steve Nelson. He was 193. He was 168 fight night. In that 25 pounds. I don't know, but yeah. So I'm telling you, a lot of this shit plays a role, and him just being around Crawford. Like honestly, I think this is his opportunity to really go crazy because he ain't really had the opportunity. He got a great team around him. I know they're gonna have him ready. Pacheco is a young guy that's been active. I think that's the only thing he probably got over. I mean, the height and reach and stuff like that. If he's gonna be boxing and stuff. Here's another dynamic too, man. And it may not play a role. It may play a role. I don't know. But Jose Benavidez got a busy ass 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Because he got Pacheco. He got Omar Salcedo, who's going to fight Andy Cruz. The next week, February the 1st, he got David Benavidez. He got Jose Benavidez. He got Daniel Blancas. He gonna be busy. Did he cover? Is everything covered with Pacheco? You know what I'm saying? Does he have enough time? Now I know he hasn't been in Pacheco's camp until recently, until they all just congregated to Vegas. Benavidez was training in Miami. Pacheco was training in Seattle, but everybody met up in Vegas like last week after the New Year. So does he have enough time? You know what I'm saying? So that shit plays a role too. Where So Cold Nelson, he didn't have Crawford. Like okay, he didn't have it where he had to split with Crawford. He normally fight on Crawford other cards. Y'all ain't gonna get this breakdown nowhere else unless they heard my ass. So if you hear somebody else talk about this shit, you know where they heard it from. You can have it though. As long as you saying the right shit, you can have it. But just coming back to that, this is the first time Steve Nelson has basically got the whole team to himself. You know what I'm saying? He don't have to worry about. I know they got other fighters in the gym. They got Keyshawn fighting like 3 weeks later. They got Lester Martinez, who was probably helping him sparring, who fights at 68. He fighting a week later. But I'm talking about getting somebody ready get multiple fighters ready that's fighting on the same card and you know what I'm saying, for big events. You know what I'm saying? That shit it's a lot of logistics that goes with that, a lot of moving parts. Yeah, trainers do that shit all the time, but still, it's a lot of shit to go with it. So with that extra attention that Steve Nelson having, would that play a better role in this fight? You know what I'm saying? Or will the lack of attention that Pacheco get for Benavidez Senior go play a role? So it's a lot of variables in fights like this. The preparation is key. And fighters always get mad when reporters ask them, how was your training camp? You have a good training camp? They hate that question because they don't really want to let shit out the bag. But they'll tell us they had the best training camp of their career. They're in the best shape of their life. Then they go out there and then they don't throw no punches. And then they get mad at us for calling them, you know what I'm saying, or going crazy on them as boxing fans. So that's why I like to throw in that little shit like that. The weight of Steve Nelson, I ain't heard nobody break down or talk about that. Y'all got that over here. I got y'all covered. The training camp situation, y'all ain't heard nothing about that. I got y'all. So when y'all be hearing their breakdowns, you know what I'm saying, tell them where they got it from. It's all good. You know what I'm saying? Share the information. Let me see. We need another fight here, Dub. I enjoy my time. Oh, that's what's up, man. Hopefully, yeah, I think Devin. If it was up to me for Devin Haney, I wouldn't have vacated the WBC, and I would have fought Sandor Martin back in Oakland. Yep. And I would have scheduled a fight right when I dropped that lawsuit against Ryan Garcia. Listen, I'm under the impression that his stock went up because fans and the community love to hate on people. He said these are facts. He said Benavidez, yeah, that's true. He said covers it very well. Yes, sir. That's what's up. Salute. Sean Icon, what's good with you, bro? You want the leaders of the facts. Yeah, I appreciate that, bro. Yeah, I forgot. I lost my damn train of thought. But yeah, man, that's what I want to do though. Make sure everybody is covered. I want to see bring stuff to the forefront that a lot of people don't. Oh no, Devin Haney. So I was saying, my thing was, listen. People say his stock done dropped, and he took a hit with his whatever, right? His image and the whole Ryan Garcia fight. And you can make a case for that for sure, but I can make a case that it's actually at an all time high because a lot of fans and casual fans is only tapped in to Devin off what Ryan Garcia, Ryan Garcia shit, the shit with his fiance, whatever was going on. I seen that in the news, whatever. I don't need to speak on too much, but a lot of fans want to see him lose. The longer you stay out the ring, it's like people forget about you. You know what I'm saying? They forget about you. Us boxing fans, we know, like, we follow the sport. We know who's fighting and whatever, and we always remember fighters. But if you don't really have a crazy profile with nothing like that, we're gonna forget. So the whole shit that's going on with Devin, he's suing Ryan Garcia. Honestly, I would have made a fight around when that came out. Because what happens is people is paying attention to you. Now you got some shit popping. Like, look at Carissa. She got a movie came out. She had the shit popping off with Remy Ma, and now she got a fight announced. Now people are like, oh shit, she fighting? Oh shit. Then all that shit is kind of coincide with each other. It's recent bias, right? Devin been out the ring too long for me. He should have came back like around the time when he dropped the shit. Now you know now you guys notice that they got a fight coming up because what he did 365. He just made a big deal about being at 365, right? Then he said he'd be back in March. BLK Prime said, yeah, he gonna be back in March, but then they deleted that shit. But you see the build up to it. Now imagine him scheduling a fight around the time where he was getting the backlash from dropping that lawsuit against Ryan Garcia. People be buying his pay-per-view or buying his fight or tuning in just to see him lose. That's just how shit is. And bring that shit back to Oakland because they did a real good gate out there and he proved that he can put them in the seats in Oakland. So take him back there. If you ain't fighting no real crazy big time name opponent, fight in Oakland for the rest of your career, bro. You know what I'm saying? Fight there. Or fight in he fought at Vegas before. ATL. I think they're trying to do a fight in ATL, whatever. But I think it's proven that he can go back to Oakland and do good business. So yeah, bro. Now you gotta strike with the iron that's hot. He said, I'm gonna get the chat. Talking about their situation. Money Man, that's the only I can imagine he haven't done. Yeah, it's a bad situation. It is a bad situation. I'm with that. But listen, y'all, you can capitalize on that. When the fans want to see you lose and they mad at you, drop a fight date. Because then they're going to say, oh man, he fighting this guy. He got 8 losses. He got 7 losses. Why he fighting him? You know what I'm saying? Then it's gonna be they still gonna tune in. They talking about you, then that you know what I'm saying. You know you're doing something right, and that's just how it is though. Y'all know how this shit work. You know what I'm saying? If nobody's talking about you and nobody bring you up, we care less. And this is why Ray Mortala is like maybe he can beat Keyshawn Davis. Maybe him and Keyshawn Davis is a 50-50 fight. But who's getting all the notoriety? You know what I'm saying? Who's getting all the publicity? Who got the real legit world title shot? Who got the homecoming fight before he even became a champion? And not Ray Mortala. What they gonna bring Ray Mortala to have a hometown fight? He's barely even talked. No disrespect, but that's just how the game is. You know what I'm saying? So if nobody is like checking for you, then you just lost in the sauce. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he do got a lot of shit going on, but I'm telling you, to block that, he can block all that shit out and just have a fight. I'm telling you, that shit blew up. But we'll see. The longer he wait, the longer the thing is. But when he announces fight and BLK Prime and shit, you're gonna have a lot of people hating on it, and people gonna be shitting on it. It might not even do well per se, but people still gonna be checking in just to trash it. That's just how it is. You know what I'm saying? I like that, bro. Yeah, fight. Yeah, he should fight there. Yeah, he definitely should fight there. They did good there. The Regis. But yeah, that's what it is, man. I want to salute everybody come through the building, man. I'm gonna close it out. Appreciate you guys' time and support and all the comments for real. For sure. We'll probably be back this weekend talk about some more boxing. If there's some new rankings they may drop. I think the IBF is next. Y'all know I be on those shits for sure. We're gonna cover those. So yeah, man, I'm gonna salute everybody coming through the building. Hopefully everybody have a good day, and I'm out.